All right, what I'm about to read you is one of the most unhinged things I've really quite ever seen in the printed legacy media. This is what the Washington Post saw fit to print from three retired military generals. Quote, as we approach the first anniversary of the deadly insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, we are increasingly concerned about the aftermath of the 2024 presidential election and the potential for lethal chaos inside our military, which would put all Americans at severe risk. Are they serious? Are they really worried about insubordination? If they were, they would be calling out for the firing of General Mark Milley. It's because of political hacks like him that Americans' confidence in the military has plummeted. Well, joining me now is Victor Davis Hanson, senior fellow at the Hoover Institution, and Kurt Schlichter, senior columnist at townhall.com. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us tonight. Victor, I want to start with you because it is dramatic, to say the least, of what these people are saying would happen after the 2024 election.
Yeah, we have to put it in the context, Jason. This follows 2 weeks of Democratic talking points that 2022 or 2024 may see the end of democracy. And they're not worried that democracy is not working. They're worried that it's working too well and they've lost the confidence of the American people. And there's going to be a big pushback in both those years in the Congress and the presidency. So they're preempting. That's one thing. And these three generals are very ironic because Donald Trump was not president more than 11 days, and we had an influential Obama legal counsel write in Foreign Policy that there were three ways to get rid of this new president, and one of them should be considered was a military coup. We had two distinguished retired officers, colonel and lieutenant colonel, that wrote a letter urging Milley to remove Trump if there was a contested election. We had people like Joe Biden bragging that the former Joint Chiefs would help him remove Trump. We had General Milley violating the chain of command, which is expressly forbidden to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. We had about a dozen retired four-star admirals and generals who violated the Uniform Code of Military Justice and disparaged their commander-in-chief with terms like Nazi-like, Mussolini-like. They compared his policies to Auschwitz. And so this has been going on. In the military, in a recent Reagan Library poll, only 45% now have confidence in the U.S. military. If they want to restore it, and they have to restore that support, then they better keep out of these divisive politics, stop the woke virtue signaling and performance art, and then they should also work on military preparedness and strategic deterrence, which we apparently have lost when you look at what Russia and China have been doing. Yeah. And I think more controversially, when they get out of the military at the four-star level, just take a hiatus 4 or 5 years before you revolve right into a military contracting corporation or board membership or as a military lobbyist and monetize your knowledge of the procurement system in the Pentagon. That would be wise to do.
Yeah, we seem to have more discussions about which bathroom certain genders should use at whatever time, as opposed to let's prepare for the fight with China or Russia or whoever our adversary might be at the moment. One of the authors, Kurt, of this op-ed was on CNN earlier tonight. I want you to listen to this, and then I want to get your comments.
We got all kinds of commanders and soldiers out there that are refusing to take their shots. That shows the weaknesses we have within our military to be consumed by political thoughts and ideations instead of thinking about our country. We love our country. We need to prepare now for the next coup.
Kurt, what's your reaction to that?
Well, look, I'm a retired colonel, so I'm not impressed by generals just because they pin a couple stars on their shoulders. And I think the American people are coming up with that. As Professor Hanson said, and as usual, he's right in everything he said. He pointed out that Reagan Institute study that says only 45% of Americans approve of the military now. I cited that for my next book just the other day. In 2018, it was 70%. These guys have presided over a free fall of the American people's confidence in the military, which was once the only institution that we still had any respect for. You know, I'm listening to these guys, and all I hear is, I don't trust my soldiers. They're not going to listen to me. They won't take the vaccine. Holy cow! It would never occur to me that my troops wouldn't follow me, but I guess I was coming up under a different army. For instance, in my army, unlike today's Air Force, we did not add pronouns to our signature blocks. We were serious about warfighting and serious in winning. And in fact, I was in the last war that we unequivocally won, Operation Desert Storm. It's been 30 years. Now, if these guys were coming off a string of victories, if they had put some in the W column, I might be more willing to listen to them. But all I see is a bunch of guys who figure out they can't beat any foreigners, so maybe they'll give it a shot with some Americans. Maybe they'll do better, but I kind of doubt it. It's an embarrassment.
All right, gentlemen, I've got a very short amount of time. I got a very short amount of time. Quickly, 20 seconds each. Why the scare tactic? What do they think they're going to achieve? 20 seconds each. Victor.
They're preempting. They want to scare conservatives and traditionalists into back off and to not try to get voter ID and have fair and free elections. So they're going to say, if you try that, you're planning a coup. And so they're doing this because they're losing support and they're terrified of a midterm disaster in the next year.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that. Kurt.
Well, look, we're not going to be talking about this coup nonsense in 2024. We're going to be talking about Putin's successful invasion of Ukraine and the Chinese successful seizure of Taiwan. And I pray that we're not talking about thousands and thousands of American casualties. But this level of incompetence makes that almost a foregone conclusion. Look, guys, I'm worried. And I think Dr. Hansen is worried too. And we all need to get our military back into shape and to a warfighting frame of mind.
Yeah, we got to be able to fight and win wars. We got to have the biggest, baddest military that could fight on two fronts and win. Gentlemen, thank you for your expertise and thanks for joining us tonight.